Hey there, thought I'd do a quick video on how I'm doing my sparkly dichroic stud earrings. So dichroic glass is this stuff. You buy it either in sheets or in strips. This is a pre-annealed strip that an online friend sent me, very nice. So I use my glass cutters to snip a little bit of the dichro, like so. And then I take my very important pin vise and I put an earring head in it, if you can see that. Alright, I'm using black today, so I've got my black rod and I carefully heat it up in the flame a little bit and get just a small ball of molten glass at the end. And I'm holding my pin vise and my earring stud right next to the flame for now because it takes hardly anything to heat up something that small. So I've got my little ball of molten glass, and then I stick the tip of the earring in the flame just until it gets red hot, and then while it's still red hot, I attach the glass to it and wind a little bit off. And it takes such a small amount of glass that I very often get too much, so then I have to carefully pluck some off with my tweezers. Working this small is pretty fiddly, so I've just pulled some off and melted off and just drop it. I've got a metal surface here, so that's nice. And then I melt what's left into a little ball, and at this point I have to be really careful not to get the earring in the flame any more than I can help, just the glass. And I round it up. Yeah, so there it's rounded up, and at this point I let it cool and set a little because I'm trying to work the back of the earring as little as possible at this point. It's impossible, obviously, that's minuscule, but I do what I can. So then I reheat the front of the ball of black glass until it's nice and molten, and then I smoosh it flat to give myself a surface to attach to. And I use my tweezers again to pick up a little chunk of the dichro. And dichroic, two-colored, pretty simple. It's a special technique by which they fuse a surface to the glass, and the surface is really easy to burn off. So at this point I hold my chunk of dichroic glass way out in the tip of the flame so that it will get hot enough to attach to the black glass, but no hotter than it has to. And then I'm going to carefully, without deforming it and losing the shaping I've done, melt the surface of the black glass until it will just stick to the dichro, and I kind of press it down all around. So then what I end up is this unshapely blob here. So, and then I take my marble mold. I don't make marbles, but the marble mold comes in handy for a lot of things. And I very carefully melt just the clear part of the dichroic glass and try not to affect the coating itself very much. The coating is now against the black, and when the clear is balling up, I press it into the marble mold and kind of try to flatten it out. So now I have this, and I repeat that a few more times, and what I'm trying very hard not to do is push the pin of the earring too far forward into the glass. So I really try not to melt the back of the glass. Do this in a pretty small flame. And I'm trying to get the clear to flow down and around the coated surface and everything. And I'm starting to get what I want there. It's starting to shape up. And if I feel that the pin has traveled too far forward in the earring, then I'll use my squashers. And I'll just get everything red and moving a little, and then I'll pull from the back while squashing from the front. And I just kind of have to repeat the process of carefully melting and shaping until the dichroic glass and the black glass are pretty much all in one shape. So give me a second and we'll have it. Inside marble mold. Oh, see. Got a little wonky there, so then I use my pinchers. I shape it up. like I want it to be. Give it a last quick shaping. So now it's the shape I want it to be. See? So I real quick take my pliers, torque off the end of the pin vise. It falls out. I grab the earring. I give it one last quick heat so that it doesn't crack on the way to the furnace. And that's that.